Good evening, everybody. My name is Steve Rothenberg. I'm the very, very proud director of the CRTC. We want to welcome students, staff, faculty, parents, guardians, siblings, grandparents, relatives, friends, and alumni to the CRTC 2021 Completers Ceremony, also called Comp Night. This year, we're hosting it in this lovely, grand parking lot, recently freshly blown by our all-star janitorial staff. You know, good locations are a little complicated to find right now, so I thought about it and said, let's just do it right out here. It fits us. And maybe we'll be back at the gym next year. At this time, I'd like to welcome Elizabeth Moreno, Concord High School senior, criminal justice completer tonight, and proud residents of Deerfield, New Hampshire. Elizabeth this year did an extensive work-based learning experience with the Manchester Police's Mounted Patrol Unit, and she has excelled in her studies. She's off to St. Anselm's next year. Please stand for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Elizabeth. Just want to recognize a few of our honored guests here tonight. I think Kathy Murphy, Tim Herbert from Concord High School, Dr. Connell, Amanda Downing from Kearsarge, Brian Emery from John Stark, and I believe Lisa English is out there, and Dr. Coe is out there too. I want to thank all those honored guests. So tonight, just one simple thing. We're just respecting each other's space out here. It looks like you're doing a great job of it, and that's the last I'm going to mention of it. I'm sure tonight, having to cancel last night inconvenienced a few of you. I'll tell you a funny story. I went to the gym last night at 5:30. I'm in the gym, and I have a garage door, and I kept walking outside every 5 minutes looking. It's like, where's that storm? I just was waiting to see a sign it was coming. You really should never underestimate the fragility of an old-time school administrator. We're really not that tough. 6 o'clock comes, 6:05 comes, nothing. And I'm thinking to myself how important safety is, how massive an obligation it is to ensure that we have a safe institution. And the irony of my stress last night, making that safety call of canceling, is in contrast to the unbelievably Herculean efforts around safety the CRTC did in the past year. Staying open and creating an outpost for safe on-site learning, which incidentally happened because of you, the folks in this audience. Your efforts and your help was an unprecedented accomplishment around institutional safety and well-being. Far, far, far bigger than one night last night. But I was still dying at the thought of perfect sunshine at 6:05. In my little pea brain, I would think that this is what you remembered about safety for the past year and not all the COVID work. So, at 6:15 or so, That big storm came, and I'm driving down 89, and my truck is moving in the wind. I was ecstatic. And look at tonight. It's a beautiful night. I know that because of canceling last night, we lost a few folks, but you guys are here, so enjoy. Tonight, we've accepted 5 student speakers. Well, 5 speeches of 6 students. Each is going to provide a different perspective on a CRTC journey. Hearing student voices, to be candid with you, without graduation jargon you may have experienced in the past, is what's going to make this night special. I urge you to lean in and to listen. I'm confident you will find the stories of these students navigating a tumultuous year and staying focused on their studies, their physical and mental and emotional well-being, and most of all, as you're going to hear in a minute, on their future. These stories are inspirational. And the stories are going to make you feel good about the future of this community and these communities in our country. So they're going to come on in just a couple minutes, and I'm going to reflect just a little bit. I was speaking to somebody the other day, and he told me something was on his mind. His basic premise was no one could have anticipated COVID. But some organizations, by their core long-term approach to growth and change, were simply ready for COVID. The person turned to me and said, the CRTC was ready for COVID, and added, using our vernacular, and the CRTC stood out. I stepped back and I thought about it. Last summer, we needed to lean on our value proposition more than we could ever dream of. We had to justify to a very skeptical and upset community that the CRTC need to stay open and serve all students every day. It was our only way. Our value proposition, creating strong, trusting relationships, emphasizing student ownership of their pathways, and having relevant, balanced curriculum around theory and practice, was nothing new to us. It was sort of in our DNA. We were ready to make our case in a courtroom of a very crazy time, and we succeeded. I speak for our entire team. We are tired, but we are also ecstatic. We're very proud of our organization. We're proud and we feel great about the trust we formed in each other to make this work. Trust across groups and individuals seems to be something America is lacking in right now, but it's omnipresent here at the CRTC. I want to thank everyone here, the audience included, for sticking with us and believing. To conclude my thoughts, I want to share just a couple of tidbits of data from some surveys we did in March. 549 students and 298 parents and guardians responded. That was a large response. The entire data set which we've shared really tells a great story, but I want to share 4 little bits. When we interviewed parents and guardians, we asked the question, has the CRTC staying open during COVID helped my students' social and emotional well-being? There's 5 levels of answer. The top answer was definitely. The second answer was agree. 80% said definitely. 60% said agree. 96% said the CRTC staying open helped the well-being of my child. Then the students, we asked, was being a part of your career CRTC class community, was it impactful for your health and well-being? 76% definitely yes. And 13% said mostly, which was the second answer. Otherwise, 89%. The last 2 tidbits didn't tie to COVID, and I think it's a really couple of items that are worth hearing. We asked parents and guardians, the CRTC has given my student experience to talk about and share with our family. I think that's a rare thing nowadays. 70% definitely agreed, and 22% agreed. 92% basically for full agreement that that is something that CRTC does. And the last one, we asked students, and I want parents and grandparents and guardians and all feel immense pride in this. My CRT experience has me looking forward to my future career pathway after high school. 71% definitely. And the second answer out of 5 was mostly 19%. 90% answer the top 2 answers out of 5. How about that? As a director, my operational philosophy is to serve. This data is affirmation of so many long-term efforts around work-based learning, our SPUR process, onboarding new faculty, college partnerships, depth of knowledge curriculum, industry relations, sending school partnerships, and so much more. And it's all sort of unique to the CRTC. We have forged our own path, our own identity, and our own success, and it feels good. You know I could say a lot more about the CRTC, and I'm not going to. I'm going to turn it over to the students. These students have stories to tell, and I urge you to think about your own life as you listen to them, think about your own choices and the roads you've taken, and you're going to find this experience refreshing. So first up, it's a reverse order from our last round, Casey Zarnicki from our Education and Behavioral Science program.
Hello everyone, and thank you for coming. My name is Casey Zarnicki. I'm a senior at Hopkinton High School. I'm proud to say that I'm graduating from my second year in CRTC's Education and Behavioral Science program, or EBS. I'm in my second year of this program because I discovered I want to be a high school history teacher. To say these aspirations started years ago in a child with a dream sounds wonderful. However, it would be a complete lie. When I first heard about CRTC in January of my sophomore year, I was sitting in my school's auditorium listening to an automotive CRTC ambassador and a health science CRTC ambassador talk about their experiences. I hadn't the faintest idea that in a short year I would become an ambassador myself, and it would be me on that stage telling students of my own journey with CRTC. That day, I remembered I had opened the flyer they handed out and started looking through the list of programs they offered. There were so many amazing options, but I wasn't drawn to any in particular until I saw the automotive program and the theater program. Yes, that's right, automotive and theater. You're probably thinking, how does this have anything to do with becoming a teacher? For me, that's why my experience with CRTC was so special and unique, because honestly, I stand here today asking the same question. How did I end up wanting to become a teacher? The answer is, in its most simplest form, CRTC. CRTC always has a program preview day in February, where students who are interested in a class or program can go visit and see what it's like. I couldn't pass up this opportunity, and to make it even better, it got me out of Algebra 2 class for the day. I remember being told I could only pick 2 programs to preview. I was very intrigued by automotive, but I knew it was not something I wanted to necessarily pursue. Instead, I previewed EBS. I was like, oh, that sounds cool. I'll go play with some preschoolers while I'm supposed to be at school. Like, who wouldn't want to do that? But what I didn't know was the second I walked into that classroom, I would fall in love with teaching. I was so eager to start ever since my first visit to Abbott Downing Elementary School, where our own high school class was held every day. I walked in for that first day surrounded by a class full of students I didn't know. If you're familiar with Hopkinton High School, it's not new news that we're very small. I have 73 kids in my graduating class, and therefore know every one of them by name. So to walk in and not know anyone was an entirely new feeling. Being in a classroom with people who all share the same interests makes it even easier to get along, and we bonded very quickly. We all want to be there and chose to be there, and every one of us continued to prove that every day. That's what it is to be a CRTC student. The second I saw the EBS curriculum, I was drawn to it. Not only was I going to learn how to interact with students and what words to use in certain situations, but I was also going to learn all the psychological aspects of teaching. For example, I learned how a child develops and at what age they should be talking or walking. I learned how children learn and how to identify those who are not learning or developing as quickly as they should. There was so much behind the scenes information that I had never even thought about. So much more goes into teaching than I had originally realized, and with every unit, I continue to be exposed to more. Just a few weeks ago, I read a case study on a student struggling with ADHD, and I wrote her entire IEP. I never imagined I would be doing anything like that, yet here I am. This class has taught me far more than I ever imagined, because not only did I learn how to be the best teacher I can, all thanks to our amazing Miss Cook, to whom I owe so much, but I also learned about myself and becoming who I was meant to be along the way. I learned quickly that teaching preschool is definitely not my calling as I had originally thought. Preschoolers are demanding and energetic, and at the end of the day, I felt relieved that it was over. I worked my way up through the grades doing fieldwork at my own elementary school, Maple Street School. I worked with Mrs. Jakes, my old 5th grade teacher, and Mr. Wells, my younger brother's 6th grade math teacher. Through Mrs. Jakes, I had the opportunity to work with 4th graders as well. While I enjoyed working with them far more than the preschoolers, I still couldn't see myself pursuing a career in teaching elementary school. In May of 2020, after finishing fieldwork in the elementary school, I got my list of classes for my senior year, and I was beyond excited to see I had gotten asked back to my 2nd year in the EBS program. However, I noticed it also lacked a history class. I wasn't able to balance both history and CRTC, and it was very upsetting. History was so important to me that I was completely torn between a history class and CRTC. It was an obvious choice, as CRTC would give me 16 college credits, which is the equivalent of an entire semester of credits. However, it was still hard. I remember crying at the realization that I may never have a history class ever again. That's when I knew I just needed to teach history. History has always been so fascinating to me. The double-sided nature of it provides opportunities for debates of what happened versus what should have been done, while still having the black and white sense of what actually happened. In January of this year, I reached out to my sophomore honors American history teacher, Mr. Meserve. I emailed him asking if I could observe and possibly teach in his sophomore class, the same class I sat through and loved every minute of 2 years ago. He was very fond of the idea and emailed me back almost immediately. I started that week and am still currently going to his classroom twice a week to both observe and teach. I'm so in love with the subject that I could talk about it for hours. So when I was able to talk about it in front of a class for the first time, it just clicked. It felt right, and I knew I was where I was meant to be. I'm going to Southern New Hampshire University next year, where I'll work towards my bachelor's degree in social studies teaching. As I said earlier, I've already received 16 new credits through CRTC, and I feel extremely prepared for college thanks to everything CRTC has taught me. Knowing that I will be able to not only pursue this newfound interest in teaching when I get to college, but also be able to incorporate history into my future has me more excited for college than ever before. Ironic when I had sworn that I wasn't going to go to college just 2 years ago. I want to thank our EBS teacher, Miss Cook, along with Miss Jen and Miss Melissa, our preschool teachers, and Mr. Rothenberg for putting so much pride into being a CRTC student. And although he is not present, I want to thank Mr. Meserve. Not only did he make my fieldwork experience fun, but he also inspired my love for history and encouraged it to grow 2 years ago and currently. But most of all, I want to thank my EBS class. All of you have been such a huge part of my high school experience, and having the opportunity to become close with each and every one of you has made these past 2 years amazing. I appreciate all of you greatly. Thank you.
Next up, from our criminal justice program, Emma Hall.
Hello.
Congratulations, class of 2021. I am definitely not the first person to say this to you, but we really have had an insane 2 years, and I am so proud of us for making it through it. My name is Emma Hall, and I am in the criminal justice program. Well, I was until tonight. Now, it has been my goal for quite some time now to go to law school and become an attorney. And while I have a wonderful years of college ahead of me before I get there, I'm proud to say I'm going to Roger Williams University in the fall to study political science. I feel really prepared for the next 4 years and beyond into law school, and I can't really say I owe that to anything else besides CRTC. I am one of those people who makes a very detailed plan as soon as they know what they want to do. I figured out that I wanted to go to law school. I am dedicated, strong-willed, outspoken, and I love to argue with anyone and everyone who will listen and argue back. All great qualities for a lawyer, right? I thought what I would need to help accomplish this goal in high school, and I signed up for CRTC. In my mind, it was simple. CRTC is the best and most advantageous option. Oh, how glad I am that I did, because over the past 2 years, I have had the privilege of working with some of the most amazing people, like Mrs. Bowden, who was so encouraging in my quest for an internship, and Attorney Tasker, a local attorney in town, who has taught me so much about the legal system here in New Hampshire. Now I'd like to tell you a little story. Earlier this month, I was doing an internship at LeBeau and Tasker, a law firm in town, which was one of the most educational and rewarding experiences of the program. And I was doing the filing. Yes, you heard me right. I was helping file legal documents. Now, one might think this is an extremely boring position, and I know one might think this because as I was doing so, about 3 different people who worked in the office passed me by and said hello, or gave me a small smile, all which was quickly accompanied by, "Oh, you're doing the filing," or, "So, they're making you do the filing, huh?" I just smiled and shrugged it off and told them all I was happy to do it. The thing is, I could tell no one wanted to do it because it was tedious, boring, and they are important people with very important tasks. They have very much earned the right not to want to do the filing. But I haven't. Not yet, at least. Now, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I loved every moment of it. Now, maybe it makes me a little odd, but I got to see what was going on with all the cases, and all the papers were super organized, which helped me see how offices run. All the stuff I could be doing one day. And I got to use the hole punch, which was like one of those really cool electric ones that does 50 papers at a time. So cool if you love office supplies like I do. It was truly a learning experience. I got to see all the little things which make a law office run, which keep it going every day. All the little things which hold so much importance. Now, if I have learned anything from my time here at CRTC, it is that, especially in the criminal justice system, we all need to work together. The key to getting all the work done, whether you are in the law office or out in the field, is working together to understand each other, to complete all of the little things which keep the criminal justice system running. We need to finish the filing so we can go to court, but we have to work together with respect and dignity to finish the filing. I think I knew this before my internship thanks to CRTC, but if I did not know it then, I certainly know it now. CRTC has taught me so many big things, but when I look back on how I learned them, what I value most are all the small details I learned along the way. Tediously doing the filing is a learning experience, and while it may not be very big, it is a small part of legal work that makes the office run each day. A small part of working together so that each piece of the puzzle works. Well, without organized legal files, all the people who organize them, lawyers would never get anything done in court. So, one day, I sincerely hope I have put in my work and collaborated with the people around me to do the stuff that counts. I hope one day, when I see the intern in the office doing the filing, I can say, "Ah, doing the filing," with a bemused yet knowing expression on my face. Until then, though, I'm just fine doing little jobs because I know that's the stuff that counts, and I have CRTC to thank for that. Thank you all for listening, and a special thanks to Mr. Rothenberg, Mrs. Bowden, and my entire criminal justice class for making this an experience I know I will take with me forever. Congratulations, class of 2021.
So we're just going to take a brief intermission from our student speakers and call up the man behind me in the whites here, Chef Mac. Chef Mac has been a legend of the CRTC. He's wrapping up his 20th year, and he's retiring in June. So let's big round of applause. Now, I want to tell you two small things about the chef. One is he would describe himself as a regular hardworking guy. And I think that he'd more so praise the people around him by saying, there's a lot of other regular people around me at the CRTC, but they do exceptional things. And it goes back to that great Jim Valvano quote. You know, we're all regular people who step up and do great things. The chef is one of those folks. A little story about the chef is that every year he makes a point of going to the graduations of his students. So a picture, we serve 9 high schools. Bob's driving around, he lives up north, whether he's going to Pittsfield, or whether he's going to Hillsborough, whether he's going to Pembroke or Merrimack Valley or Concord High. But now extend that a little further. Bob goes to the college graduations of his students, and he raises money during the school year by doing catered events to give scholarships to those students. So you think about wearing your whites and being out here right now. The chef represents a trade and a career of great pride, and we want to honor him tonight. So excellent job, chef. I think I hear the culinary pastry arts students back there. And we got Bob an appropriate t-shirt. Let's see if I can hold it up this time. Put it over here. Oh.
Thanks very much, folks. It's been a long, strange trip for 20 years, but it's been a wonderful journey, and I am definitely going to miss it, but I'm still looking forward to next year. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Our next speaker from our Auto Tech program, Madison Tobin.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Madison Tobin. I'm in the Automotive Tech program. Feels good to be standing in front of all of you tonight. I do want to take a moment and congratulate all of our Year 2 seniors or students who pushed through these past 2 years. Last spring came and we had to go fully remote. Going fully remote was not something we expected. And breaking expectations is what I'm going to be talking about tonight. I want to take a step back for a moment. I want you all to close your eyes and imagine yourself in front of your car at your mechanic's garage. And what do you see when the mechanic rolls out from under the car to greet you? I bet it's a man. Well, I'm going to change that image for you. Before I signed up for CRTC back at the end of my sophomore year, I knew I wanted to do automotive. I've been turning wrenches since I was 8 years old. My dad was the one who got me into wanting to get into cars. Then I just heard one day, Madison, come help me, or it was Maddie, follow me. And he had me do my first oil change at the age of 8. Most people would look at me, tell me I'm crazy for wanting to do automotive. Or people would tell me getting my hands dirty is for a guy. But I never listened to them. I did what I wanted to do for a career path. Yes, made me stand out, but I didn't mind because I knew this was the field I wanted to get into. January 2019, my sophomore year. The day came where the first assembly happened to explain to us what CRTC had to offer. Then, with the next choice in the process of getting into a CRTC program was meeting the teachers of each program we chose for the preview day. Meeting Mr. Mayotte and Mr. Gregoire and the students that have the same interests as you felt pretty good. Seeing 4 females in the automotive classroom that day made me feel less nervous than I was. Let's go back to year 1 of automotive when we were doing engine repair with Mr. Mayotte. I thought putting back together an engine would be fun and sort of easy. Well, it did not go that way for me that day. I was putting my pistons back in, and well, when I hit the crown of the piston, the connecting rod went through my finger. Yes, that's right, through my finger. Well, almost through my finger. The only thing that saved me from breaking my finger was the acrylic nail I had on at the time. Yes, it's okay to laugh about it because so did I. The guys in my class could have judged me or made fun of me, but they didn't. They treated me like I was like one of them, never singled me out or excluded me. Year 2 of CRTC and looking at colleges and post-secondary plans. I looked at many colleges and applied to 5 different colleges, and I got accepted into 2 of them. Lincoln Tech Institute in East Windsor, Connecticut, and Lakes Region Community College in Laconia, New Hampshire. I have chosen to go to LRCC in the fall to continue my education in the Toyota T10 program. I've been planning on becoming a Toyota technician for quite some time. Overall, these past 2 years have been one of the best experiences in my life. I want to give a huge thank you to Mr. Mayotte and Mr. Gregoire for pushing through these past 2 years with us, and for pushing all of us to where we are today. If it was not for you two, most of us would not be standing here today. My CRTC experience definitely made me come out of my comfort zone and made me realize that standing out and doing something that is different from what everyone expected is something that I can do. Thank you.
Now from our health science program, Elizabeth Downing and Hayley LeBlanc.
Good evening. As we reflect on the past 2 years, which has been anything but normal, the combination of our determination and help from others has made it possible to make it to this point where we are able to speak to you about our graduation from the CRTC.
One of the best things about being part of the CRTC is that students can come from different schools and backgrounds, but we quickly realized we have so many shared interests. Through the experiences we have in CRTC, those shared interests develop into an exceptional sense of teamwork and a willingness to do the extra steps needed to succeed. Through the nature of high school, the journey is the same, yet everyone's destination is not. My name is Hayley LeBlanc and I'm a senior at Pembroke Academy. Next year I plan to get a job working as a full-time LNA in a hospital. In the following year I will start school at NHTI working towards my associate's degree in orthopedic technology.
My name is Elizabeth Downing, and I am a senior at John Stark Regional High School. I have participated in varsity soccer for 4 years and will spend the next 4 at Riviera University, working towards my bachelor's in nursing and playing on the women's soccer team. I plan to work with my LNA in a hospital setting during the summer and weekends.
The two of us standing here in front of you today came from separate backgrounds before our junior year, both living our own lives, but we have come together at CRTC through one common goal, our passion for health science. Our plans for the future reflect our ability to diversify from the ground of health science, as one of us becomes an orthotech and the other one becomes an RN. The CRTC has provided opportunities for us we did not even know could happen. One such opportunity has been the speakers we have had the pleasure of meeting, specifically Alex Russo and Cadence Solsky. Both of them came into our classroom as speakers, representing their jobs and providing background on what they do. What stood out to us in the audience was how they used to be one of us, CRTC students. Seeing them out in the real world gave us confirmation that the path we have paved through health science can take us places. Both Alex and Cadence sat in the same seats as us, once mesmerized by the accomplishments of others. They have now paved their own way to the future they want to achieve and have begun their career even though they were just students fresh out of high school. As we listened to them, it became a reality that what they do and who they become can be our reality.
As high school students, we have faced ups and downs, but our common ground has ultimately led us into this class. As a freshman, stress and uncertainty surrounded my decisions about the future, and I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. Said shortly, I was a huge ball of anxiety just trying to ride the wave out. We were all expecting to figure out our lives in college, not high school. Finding my true passion was not something that was a priority for me, but often made me anxious thinking about it. I know as a health science student, I was not alone in this situation. This all changed when I took the jump in applying at the CRTC. I had no hope of getting in, but was simply doing it because I was told to by my school and by my peers. I thought, why not? On the first day of health science, I walked into the most intimidating yet welcoming atmosphere I could have imagined. There were some days I would cry on the bus ride home, fearful of failure and about to give up. And I had Mr. Bowman to blame for this. I constantly whined and cried about how hard he was, how mean he was to me, never understanding why he always picked on me. He is my favorite teacher now, but man did he make my life difficult. He taught me that with hard work comes sacrifice, but also reward. His attitude was exactly what I needed. I worked harder than I ever have before to succeed, striving for the highest grade in the class on all quizzes, tests, and labs. My determined attitude kept me going for these 2 years and was the driving factor behind my strong desire to continue my nursing education in college. What I have learned in my schooling here has been the influence others have and how we're always in it together. It happened to work out that I was not the only one losing my mind in Mr. Bowman's class, and I had others to lean on for support. So yes, I was challenged, but this challenge only showed me my true potential and how much I could really do.
We want to take this opportunity to thank all of you students here at CRTC for coming to school daily and creating a positive environment that never limits other students' potential. We also want to say a big thank you to Emma Burbank for helping us write this speech, and a very special thank you to Miss Bean for all our memories. Your dedication and hard work has not gone unnoticed. The passion each one of you holds for your trade is unmatched, and we only hope you will continue this in the future. We were two different kids with two different paths, but were challenged in a meaningful way that helped us grow together. Remember to thank all of the people around you and to recognize everyone who has made an impact on your journey, whether big or small. Thank you.
Just before our last speaker comes up, I'm going to have the auto tech students, Mr. Gregoire, Mr. Mayotte students, with masks on, just begin lining up against the fence as we get into our next session. But our last and final speaker, no less, is Kaya May from cosmetology.
Good evening. My name is Kaya May, and I'm a senior at Merrimack Valley High School, as well as a completer and ambassador of the cosmetology program. I'm honored to be able to speak with you tonight and share with you my CRTC journey. The cosmetology program is a great opportunity not only to learn the fundamentals of all aspects of the field, but also grow in other areas of life. Since the beginning of the pandemic, we have lost most forms of contact. Our teachers and administration fought our way into the building, allowing us to come every day in class. Personally, for me, I took part in this fight, which is something I wouldn't usually do. I took the time to write to school board members with my reasons and why I felt it was important to come back full-time. When hearing the news that we were coming back, not just part-time, but full-time, I was so excited. I couldn't wait to finally see my friends in person every day. With this, being able to grow and connect with my classmates, I was personally able to bond with more of my peers. My absolute favorite part I participated in the CRTC was being a 2-year ambassador for my program and also being a part of the CRTC Takeover Week. This gave me the opportunity not only to display my class happenings, but I was also excited to partner along with the criminal justice program and get to show what their day-to-day life looks like. Being an ambassador with the program, I have had to learn many new things, such as public speaking, both online and in person, because I had to speak to many parents and students both in small and larger crowds, to tell them my story and why the CRTC could be a great fit for them. During the past year, I have taken the position of ambassador to a whole new level, where I started recording my class and editing into the 30-second to minute-long clips to show what we do in our class. The editing process was most certainly one of the longest processes, and I certainly lost motivation, as it certainly was time-consuming editing all the videos. I got a spike in motivation when one of our videos had almost 1,000 views on Instagram. Throughout class, I have learned many technical skills while continuing to improve on areas where people wouldn't expect me to improve on, and they're unique to the cosmetology program. For example, developing my fine motor skills as I worked on micro-precision cuts, waxing, manicuring, and pedicuring, along with working on skills that I would need in my life, such as efficiency, patience, and finding balance in my work. Through our business unit, I learned how to use interviewing skills. I learned proper dress attire and how to present myself professionally. With this, I've also learned how to conduct an interview and give many interviews myself. I was given many opportunities to speak with people from the industry and understand their day-to-day lives as a cosmetologist, and also work alongside alumni like our lovely Allison from Stolisi Salon, Aspen of Salon K, and many more. Also having the opportunity to work and meet with our industry partners, Matt of Empire Beauty School, Sue of Concord Headlines, and many more who volunteered to mentor all of us and prepare us for the road ahead. I love learning about their stories and how they started and where they grew to they are today. In my next steps, wrapping up high school and CRTC, I will continue pursuing getting into the radiology program at NHTI. I just wrapped up my early college spring semester and will be starting up again this July to continue working on my prerequisites for the program. Some of you may wonder why I chose this program, and truthfully, I wanted to learn more about how to do hair and nails. I never thought I would get as much out of it as I did. As I stated before, I have learned so much more in my time here than a typical braiding hair and doing men's haircuts. I discovered that I have a certain passion in life to help other people. Starting in middle school, I was presented with many volunteering opportunities with the Friendly Kitchen in Concord, the Boston Dream Center of Boston, Massachusetts, and being a Sunday school teacher at Restoration Foursquare Church here in Concord. I won't keep talking much longer, but I'd like to leave you with a few final words as you continue your journey in life. Don't ever forget that each and every one of you are truly wonderful people, and you have come so far from applying to your program, to your orientation, to your first day, and now approaching your last. I personally like to thank the whole CRTC staff and teachers for making these past 2 years welcoming and life-changing. Congratulations, class of 2021.
We're going to switch gears at this point and get into our certificates portion. Auto Tech will get you about 1 minute or so. Let me just go over a couple basic things. We want to say a special thanks to Crystal Haskell. Where are you, Crystal? Right over there. No sun now. Last second, we need a photographer, and Crystal's wearing dual duties tonight, right? She's also the mom of a completer tonight, so that's awesome. We are going to get all of her photos online for free. You'll be able to get them. We'll get them posted within a week or so. I'm going to be calling up groups, and then I'll call up the groups also after, so you'll be organizing. We've got auto right now, and then the next will come after that. As far as the teacher-student interaction goes, what we're basically saying is it's up to the student. So you want to shake hands, you can shake hands. You want to do a fist bump, you do a fist bump. You want to do elbow to elbow, you want to salute your teacher, whatever you prefer, you do. We're not. It's your call when you walk up. If I do slip up tonight for the students and somehow I miss you, raise your hand, please. I'll adjust very quickly and get it right. We'll resolve it. And if you get the wrong certificate, we'll resolve that a little later on. All right. With that, I want to switch gears. I think Mr. Gregoire's class is first. Get my paperwork out. So first and foremost, something remarkable about this year's Auto Tech class, which just, every day amazed me, was their incredible attendance this year. I would have a running joke with Mr. Mayotte, just, who's here? And he'd say, B block, where's Mr. Mayotte right now? Mr. Mayotte, he can't hear me right now. He'd regularly say, they're all here every day. It was just incredible to see a full house almost every day we were open. So let me start us off. Evan Ballou. Brett Crawford. Cameron DeGrenia. Oh, there's a lot of handshakes over there. Oh, well, listen to the photographer. There we are. Yeah, once you guys get your certificates, just head right back out in the audience. Cheyenne Duquette. Jake Eason. Wade Fisher. Nice job. Will Hutchinson. Dakota Johnson. Andrew LeClaire. Owen Merrill. Emily Michard. Nate Miracle Jr. Wyatt Ramsey. Caleb Roach. Bradley Roberts. Colby Russo. Nick Sedgley. And Michael Seduto. All right, while Mr. Mayotte's class lines up, computer engineering and construction trades, you're the next two groups up. If you guys could head over to the fence over there to line up. Computer engineering, then construction trades. Mr. Mayotte, let me know when you're ready. I'm ready. John Bose. Nicholas Cohen. Jake Currier. Ryan Dezane. Jacob Downs. Alden English. Ronald Finlayson. Jeffrey Hollins. Parker LaValle. Cody Lucier. Nicholas Manning. Alyssa Merrill. Jason Morrill. Nice going, Jason. Reagan Olson. Thomas Raskett. Devin Reed. And Madison Tobin. That is the largest auto tech program in the state by far. Thank you, guys. All right, we have computer engineering lining up now, construction trades, then criminal justice. So folks are getting ready. Okay. Aiden Boucher. Marion Bradbury. Nolan Cloutier. Noah Drew. Alex Forward. Brooke Holmes. I'm slowing down. Erica Ingersoll. Noah King. Xander Lee. Justin Midiev. Flynn O'Sullivan. Aiden Rollins. And Darren Timsina. Excellent. So construction's up, criminal justice and culinary pastry arts should be behind the criminal justice program, working their way over there. Mr. Hubbard, let me know when you're ready. Thumbs up? Okay. James Bilodeau. Andrew Bliss. Joshua Bly. Aaron Green. Nolan Haley. J.C. Haskell, with mom taking his photo. One for home, too. Caitlin Howe. Alex Kyander. And for the second time tonight, Hayden Lamarro. Hayden was the first time in a lot of years a student did two programs, so Sydney Malaki. Brendan McLaren. Michael Moulton. Miles Reinhardt. Wyatt Reinhardt. Colin Roberts. Dan Scott. And Joel Tavis. So at this point, we have criminal justice coming up. Culinary and then education and behavioral science can go behind culinary, please. Mrs. B, let me know when you're ready. Oh, we got added bonuses there. Mrs. B, you ready? All right. Ziola Audette. Nathaniel Body. Get the photo there, yep. Tyler Cormier. Shimron Darji. Joshua Foote. Kyle Garrity. Avery Gove. Emma Hall. Miranda Kangas. Haley Kenny. Dominic Mangione. Elizabeth Moreno. Haven Prue. Christopher Schnipke. Alexa Simard. I'm slowing down. Emily St. Onge. Lily Stojkovic. And Autumn Wyatt. Looks like we're up for culinary. Thanks, Mrs. B. Just let me know when you're ready. This is also Chef Parker, who'll be taking over from Chef Mack next year. Yeah, Chef. Chefs, you guys ready? Bob, you ready? Emily Abramson. William Algren. Alexander Berry. Olivia D'Alessandro. Amir Mkik. Olivia, enjoy the meal. Ivy Gooden. Bo Habel. Haley Hapgood. Stephen Helm. Graham Jakes. Jacob Lahr. And Patrick Quinn. Thank you, guys. Well done. And last but not certainly least, our Education and Behavioral Science program. Ms. Cook, you ready? We're ready. Okay. Emily Offeld. Noel Barrio. Shannon Brown. Amelia Coe. Casey Zarnicki. All right, choosing the hug. Makes a long night. Gabriella Duana. Lauren Dusevich. Caitlin Fortier. Adriana Goodson. Hayley Leblanc. Joe LaMayhew. Morgan Loomis. Sean Lover. Abigail Mann. Paige Merrill. Gavin McGregor. Nika Mitchell. Megan Murray. You miss somebody? Okay. I'm taking my time. Ms. Cook, this is the longest ceremony by far right here.
We're enjoying our
Still aiming for 8 o'clock. Dylan Norse. Brianna Pinter. Morgan Tangway. Alexander Weeks. Excellent. All right. My quick closing comments, little advice to all of our completers tonight. I think about folks I've seen who've gone out of their way. And I remember being at a conference up in Norwich where a leading officer in New York State was talking about what it takes to be successful in criminal justice and law enforcement. And he basically said, when you have an opportunity, take it when you're young in your career. Dive in. Don't say no. Say yes to opportunities. Say yes to learning opportunities, intellectual and experiential risks. Don't take on big car payments. Keep your flexibility. Do extra hours, overtime, weekends, pride, plans. When you're at the start of your career, do whatever it takes. You think about our motto, it's be prepared to stand out. And that's how you do it. And I think you got a great experience here, and we want to thank you. To wrap up, I want to say a few quick thank yous. Jennifer Strong-Rain over there to my left, who's filling in as our program coordinator, who read over these lists about 1,000 times. Paula Smeichel and Lauren Vessels, our outstanding admin assistants. Other helpers here tonight, Beth York, Dave Moore, Amy Smith, Mr. Close behind me and his team for the PA and the stage, Dan Gontars, our head of facilities and his team to clean this place and get it right. And the last big thank yous to our teachers. We have an incredible bond of camaraderie and commitment to one another that's unique in education, and it showed this year. And I want to say thanks, and I think I speak for everybody, wishing you the best. You've earned it. Well done tonight. And tonight, at this point, we want to thank you for coming, weathering being in a parking lot, weathering a delay. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great evening.